party.
Oh yeah, baby. So let's start that party in your ear holes.
And we're back. Hello and happy 2024. Can you believe it? It's Darren Carter, the party starter, calling my good buddy, Mr. Mike Black.
Yeehaw!
How are you? Man, this sounds like you're in the future. It sounds like you're in 2024.
Rootin' tootin' Mike Black in 2024.
Dude, it's weird. I never have dreams about people, but you were actually in my dream this morning.
Oh, I bet I was.
See, you like how I made it sound less creepy by saying, I didn't say you were in my dream last night. I said morning. You were in my dream this morning. I mean, this is just the part, after I woke up and everything, and I was just kind of laying there, and yeah. It was weird. Like you had completely shaved off your beard and everything, and you lost about 10 pounds, and you're like, yeah, dude, I'm booking. You're actually kind of cocky, but in a cool way. You're like, things are happening, man. I'm happening right now.
Well, I wish dream me was real me. That was great.
I was very happy for you. I was like, dude, that's so cool. I knew things would happen for you. And I was like, you're like, yeah.
I did shave my beard, but that's about it. That's the only.
Dreams do come true.
Yeah. If we can get those other two, the other two seem a lot more important.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
As I get older, I realize now I've outlived most fat comedians, so I better start taking care of myself this year.
Yeah, dude, it sneaks up on you, man. It's like, for my New Year's, I wouldn't say New Year's resolution, but my son actually inspired me. Little Austin, he's like 16 and
yeah,
about as tall as I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, he's doing 100. We're both doing this 100 push-ups every day. So far we've done it every day, and I gotta tell you, I look back at 4 years ago because how your memories pop up.
Can I tell you really quickly something?
Yeah.
I have done 100 push-ups total.
Yeah.
over 40 some years. I think I do about 2 a year.
Well, it's funny because I from 4 years ago I put this thing out there. I was like, my New Year's resolution: before I leave my hotel room, before I leave my home, anytime I exit and I go see the world, I want to make sure I've done 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, and 20 squats or whatever it was. And I look back and I'm like, damn, it's funny. It started out being 20, and now I look at 20 like that's like nothing, But that's how you start. You gotta start out somewhere, you know.
Sure.
I'm sure maybe one day, maybe I'll look back and be like, 100, that's nothing. It's child's play.
So your goal by the end of the year is what? Like 100 crunches in all 50 states?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Don't even worry about the shows. I want to get booked just so I can do push-ups and crunches in every state, bro.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny.
Just in front of each landmark.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be cool at Mount Rushmore, and then go up to
the Rocky statue in Philly.
I was just going to say that. The Rocky statue. Yeah, totally. Dun, 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 dun. And I go up there and just, I get down on the ground, on the dirty ground, and just start doing crunches.
There's you and 100 other guys out there.
Oh, I guess it's I got to do it in January. So there's actually people who've stuck to their New Year's resolutions. Like, don't go there in July.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that old thing. That old.
Yeah, so far so good on all of mine. As long as I don't leave the house, I haven't broken any.
Right, you haven't broken any New Year's resolutions. Yeah, I'm. It's funny because I typically do I start out I usually do at least 50, but it was kind of cool when he amped. He goes, hey, Dad, how many push-ups have you done? And I was all cocky. I was like, feeling proud of myself. I'm like, I've already done 50. And he's like, I've done 100. I'm like, oh, damn, man. Like, it's on.
I hope he said it just like that. I've already done 50.
I've already done 50. The bass boss. Yeah. Hey, there's a fun way to do push-ups. Are you ready to hear it?
I guess.
So you take a deck of playing cards and you throw a card on the ground, and whatever number it is, that's what you do. Or if it's a face card, then you got to do 10.
Okay.
Well,
that seems less exciting at the end. I think the face cards we should make different rewards
Yeah.
for the face cards than just 10, because there's a 10 card.
Right.
You know, for Jack, well, that's a.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty obvious what you could do with that.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'll be back in 5 minutes if you know what I mean.
It burns just as many calories.
Yeah. Exactly.
The trick is you have to use both arms.
You got to use both arms. Yeah.
Right.
Dude, why is everyone hoping to get a Jack card? Why are they coming back all sweaty?
We are not allowed in 24-hour fitness ever again.
Oh, that'd be funny. Don't even use the equipment. Just have your playing cards. You're just like,
yeah. For Queen, it should be you have to do 20, but you get to listen to Queen.
Oh, that's cool. Boom, boom. You know what's funny on a site?
King,
yeah.
For King, it's 25, but you have the option to go to Burger King afterwards.
I like that.
It kind of cancels itself out in a way. Yeah. And then what's the last one? For Joker, you don't have to do anything.
What about Ace? What about an Ace?
For an Ace should be like try and top whatever your record is.
Ooh. Because like in poker, no, on blackjack, I think an Ace can either be an 11 or a 1.
Right. So I say it's going the extra. So like, if your record for a day is like 30, you try and do 31.
And then if it's 31, you get to go to Baskin Robbins and have 31 flavors.
Or Ace Hardware.
Oh yeah.
Buy whatever you like at Ace Hardware.
Yeah. Like that's kind of cool. The guy I ran into some guy after a show. He was pretty like pumped up and buffed. And he was like, he's like, yeah, here's and he's the one that told me about that. I'd heard about that before, but he was like, he put a new spin on it and was like, you know, you do 22 cards because there was 22 suicides in the military. And I didn't want to bring it down, but I forgot that he had said that. And I go, and he was like, yeah, then you throw the card down. If it's 3, then you do 3. Then if it's 7, you do 7. And you and your boy, you just do it at the same time. Bam, bam, bam. And you do 22 cards. And I was like, why 22? I go, isn't there like 52 cards? And he goes, yeah, you do 22 cards. And I don't think he heard me. And then I asked him one more time and he goes, oh, remember? Because I told you about that. And I was like, oh yeah. Ugh, sorry. I just, yeah.
Yeah. That's,
I know.
Fun game down.
I know, exactly. I was like, oh my gosh. So I was like, ooh, yeah. So, I don't know if I want to, I mean, I guess I could do the 22 thing, but that's kind of depressing to bring it with my boy. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't even do that. I would just do the 21 thing.
Yeah, like let's just, or should we go through the whole deck, or is that too many? The 52 cards.
Oh no, just do 21. Like
you're right. Just do 21. Yeah. It's like, yeah, because if you do 52, I don't know what the adds up to. That might add up to like 700 push-ups or something. That'd be really. Yeah. My son's gonna be like, I never want to play this again, Dad.
Yeah, I think that's the key to any game is play it in a way where other people want to keep playing it in the future.
Oh yeah, my wife she's so good at Boggle, man. I don't know if you've ever heard of Boggle. It's like all these these letters. You shake it up in a box, and the little timer goes off, and you guys have like 90 seconds to find as many words that are connected. And you know, I'm not good at it. I guess I'm okay. I don't think I'm that good at it. And she's I'm not that good at it, and she's really good at it. So she's just like I'll find like 12 words, and she'll find like 31 words. I'm like, what the hell?
Kicking their ass at it. It's like, I believe in handicapping a little bit. Like, if you're playing Monopoly against Alan Greenspan,
right?
You should get a few like properties when you start.
Yeah,
make him start kind of like owing money. You know, like he owes everyone $500.
Oh, there you go.
And, you know, and everyone else is like, hey, you know, we're not you, so we each get a couple of properties and like one hotel before you even are allowed to take a turn.
Yeah. Like when we were playing Boggle, I was like, well, how about, and then I actually Googled, I'm like, okay, give me Boggle tips. Like I was trying to figure out like, how can I get like some, not a cheat code, but like, let me get some tips. And they were like, when you see a word, after you read something that you're like, oh, well, duh. But it was like, it's like you find a word, see if there's an S around there, because now you've turned rib into ribs or home, homes, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you can get like extra points. So sometimes I'll do that, but
so just make anything a plural.
Yeah, if you can, if there's an S involved, but
you're off to a good start. Also, there's like the good ones to look for are like if you've got market, try and see if you can find enough to do marketing. Ooh. You know, rather than just if you like, you might think, oh, I can do markets, which you could, but then it blocks you from doing marketing.
That's true.
You know, if you have the letters to do it, you know.
That'd be a lot of letters. That'd be you know, another game that
the points. You'd have like 50 billion points.
That'd be great. My goal was just to at one point I said, you know, my goal is just to like not let you double my score. That's like
that seems like an achievable
I know,
goal.
and it's even that's not good because it's like, you know, oh, I got 11. Oh, what'd you get? Oh man, like, you know,
48.
Exactly. Another game we've been playing is Scattergories. Yeah, and I'm pretty good at that. I think you would be too, because as a comedian, you're if you remember how to play Scattergories, it's they'll roll a dice and the die will be like let's say B. And then you have a list. You have a list, and the list will say girl's name, country, politician, you know, mountain, or whatever, you know, something like that. And all has to start with B. Like I remember we rolled like an L.
Yeah.
And but you also don't want to say like if there's four. It actually gets more intense if there's more players. Like four, let's say there's 4 players, right? And they say let's just say that, you know, name a boy's name that starts with A. What would you say?
Albert.
So if I say Albert, you say Albert, boom, we cancel each other out. So sometimes when it's so obvious, you're like, oh man, let me think outside the box.
So it'd be better to go like Alfonso.
Exactly. That's how I won some points, because everybody was going for the basic, like, you know, name a big animal that starts with E, and they're all going like elephant, but your mind, you're going, okay, let me go with elk.
Yeah.
Or something. So that was kind of fun. That was like interesting. I could not think of any kind of politician that started with L. I'm sorry, with N. With N. And then my son, he moseyed right in and just wrote down Nixon. And I'm like, oh, man.
Are you going to say, can you go by last names, or do you have to go by their home?
I think you can go, I mean, we were playing pretty loose with the rules, so you could probably go first or last name. Like, you know.
This reminds me of, you know how you do things where you're like, oh, there's differences between the group that I'm in and the group that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
Where there's always been, I feel, and I may be wrong, but I feel like there's always been a kind of friendly rivalry, I guess, between like sketch comedy sort of people and stand-up comedians.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's different styles of comedy completely.
Or improv especially, right?
Yeah, and like you can definitely use facets of each in the other, but there's a bit of a rivalry going on there. Well, I took a class at Groundlings, and one of the exercises we did was called Calico Cat. And it's where you would go in a circle and you would say something about Calico Cat, but it had to be whatever letter you were on.
Mm.
You know, you'd go alphabetically. So the first person, Calico Cat is an amicable cat. The next person, Calico Cat is a beautiful cat. And then it got to me, and you know, I'm an old, dirty nightclub comic.
Yeah.
And all I could think was, I have to say a C word.
Yeah.
So I said, Calico Cat is a country cat. But I didn't say country. I said something else. And the look on everyone's faces, like, talk about the turd in the punch bowl. Everyone is just like, what have you done?
Oh, it's hilarious.
What a horrible man. Why is this horrible man in our class?
If you guys ain't doing nothing, come by the Comedy Store at 1 a.m. I'll be.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be telling you all about Calico Cat and how awful
Yeah.
Calico
Oh,
Cat
you're
is-
right. I would have said like a cute cat. They thought you were going to say cute cat, or
Right.
he's a
But
cunning cat, or
yeah, they were like, say the first thing that goes through your head. And the first thing I thought was, what's the biggest C word that I could say? And it was that one. And I don't talk to those people that much anymore. I to add to that, if you haven't seen it, see the movie Shakes the Clown by Bobcat Goldthwait, because in the movie they don't flat out say it, but it's very obvious. All the clowns are basically stand-up comics,
Yeah.
and the sketch and improv people are mimes. And it's that same sort of rivalry that exists. But he got Robin Williams to play kind of like the leader of the mimes.
Yeah.
And he's in it for maybe 3 minutes and just steals the entire movie.
Wow.
It's a fun. The more into comedy you are, the more you'll dig that movie. The guy who voiced SpongeBob SquarePants, Tom Kenny, he plays the villain of the movie, Binky the Clown, and he's amazing in it. But it's really worth checking out at least once if you get a chance.
Tom Kenny was a strong comic. I remember I saw him in San Francisco. I want to say it was like 1989. It might have been 1990. It was that long ago. And I went to the San Francisco. I was in the audience, not even performing. I was in the audience, San Francisco Punchline, and it was for the comedy competition. And it was a big deal back then. You know, Robin Williams, I think, is notorious for taking second place in it. They were like all these. They were like the winners. Didn't necessarily go on to bigger and better things, but look at all these second place winners, and I always remember them talking about Robin Williams. But
that's amazing.
Yeah, and watch me be wrong on that. Someone will Google it, but it was one of those things where I remember the year I saw it. Bobcat Goldthwait was the quote headliner. Like there was a contest, and then they were going to have a special guest headliner, like going at the end. And so all these guys were doing their best five, and they were all funny. They were really good. And the host of it was Tom Kenny. And, dude, Tom was great. Yeah.
That is awesome. That's funny that they were both in the movie that I'm talking about.
I know. And it's funny. I'll tell you.
Robin Williams too,
I think they're buddies because they seem like they were very friendly on stage, back and forth with each other. They joked around because I remember that one of the jokes they said was like, "Hey Bobcat," and they go, "Hey Tomcat." They were calling each other Bobcat and Tomcat, and it was cool. And I remember I went there with a buddy of mine, and we were new comics, and we were like, "Wow, that was unbelievable!" Like seeing, you're watching top level stand up comedy, and I go, "Dude, how crazy is that? Like all these poor guys in the contest, like the host was funnier than all of them. Like they were good, but he was great. And then Bobcat was like
really talented. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Bobcat just destroyed, man. It was, it's interesting too, because you and I, we do comedy. We are comedians. We've been around it. It'd be interesting to see like now, how would I view that night? Like, cause it was great back then. I'm sure it was great. It was great.
Right. Yeah. Like if you're saying like, now that we've been on the other side of the veil, would it still be as funny to us? Probably not, but I bet we would still appreciate
exactly
the technique and their ability to do the work. It's funny. I've been talking about this a lot lately, how you get into a thing that you really love, and it can kind of, if you're not careful, it can make you love it less.
Yeah.
You're like there was a long period where I was like, I don't really want to watch anyone else do stand up. I just want to do it. I'm like tired of watching it,
Right. Yeah.
But I think if you really love something, it kind of comes back, and you start to appreciate the other things about it, like the technique and there are jokes where it's like, I won't laugh at it, but I'll be like, that's a really good joke, and it's like, if I were 8, I would just laugh my ass off,
Yeah.
But like now I'm in a place where it's like I'm more appreciative of the technique than just laughing,
Yeah, and it is nice to watch the comic and just get lost and really enjoy what they're doing, and
I love. Yeah, I think it's a rare thing, but I love when a comic can kind of make me do that, and where I just totally forget about anything else, and I'm just
I saw three comics
performance.
Three comics recently that come to mind. One was Sebastian Maniscalco. I saw him at the Comedy Store.
Yeah,
and I was up next in the original room, so I didn't get to watch him for too long. But the 8 minutes I watched, I'm like, this is really good. And he was talking about Santa Claus and how like there was like a black Santa Claus that was available for this lady. She goes, is a black Santa Claus available? And he's like, I never thought about it. Does each race have their own Santa Claus? Is there a 125-pound Chinese Santa Claus? Is there? And the way he did it was so like, wow, that's funny. I never thought about that. And the way he delivered it, and even he was kind of laughing like, this is so ridiculous. And then there was an Asian couple in the front. He goes, come on, they're laughing. Come on, you loosen up. And it was really good. And then another guy I saw was Paul Reiser.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know. I'm sure you know Paul Reiser.
Yeah.
And he's another guy. Like, I saw him when I was in my 20s, and it was it didn't really speak to me as much. Because he's kind of like a Seinfeld type of comic. Like, he was talking about being in the shower and why do we spend so much time washing our chest? Whatever. It was, and I was in my 20s, and I was like, it wasn't really my thing, I guess. But dude, I saw
washing your chest wasn't your thing.
Right? I'm like, what about lower, Paul? No, I'm in my 20s. No, you're unrelatable, my friend. No. Yeah.
Calico cat,
exactly. I was like, but then I saw him recently, and well, then again, this is hilarious because the example I'm going to give is ding, 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 totally relatable. But he talked about having reading glasses, and then having distance glasses, and then how he talked to his eye doctor, and he's like, hey, I put the reading glasses on to look at my computer, and it's blurry. I thought these were, and he's like, no, reading glasses are from 8 to 10 inches. Your computer's from 12 to 14, but dude, it was like it was totally funny and witty and clever and like clean, like he didn't even curse. And then
now that you've lived a little, shit's a lot funnier.
Dude, once you've lived a little, shit is a lot funnier. You're right. He's like, and then I was gonna say, then I saw another comedian. He's really big right now. He's a young Latino comedian. He does these characters. One of them is called Cholo Fit. And I don't know if you saw Cholo Fit, but his name is Frankie Quiones. And dude, he was really dirty, and it was hilarious. And I mean, I don't want to give away his stuff, but he talked about ordering something online, and because he was so lonely. I won't say too much. I'll just say he was very lonely during COVID, and his relatives were scared to see him. They're like, no, mijo, you were out there touring, you're out there shaking hands. Like, so even though he lives in LA, and his relatives live not too far from LA, like he was like he really settled up. Like, they were like, no, your grandma lives with us. So he talked about just how lonely he got, and how he ordered something online and was just dude, it was actually hilarious. I was like,
it sounds awesome.
It was funny how like comedians are completely opposite, like not even, but they're all funny, man. It's like when people are at the top of their game, when they're just authentic, it's just great to see.
Well, yeah, like you think of like how Bob Newhart and Don Rickles were good friends, and their acts are just completely different, completely opposite ends of the spectrum. You just appreciate how funny is funny at the end of the day, and it's always interesting. Like when we were talking about how once you've lived a little, things get funnier. I absolutely loved Rodney Dangerfield when I was a little kid.
Oh yeah,
because he was so animated and so expressive. I would say probably most of what he was talking about went over my head.
Right.
But I just loved him. I was like, I know this guy's funny, and I can just feel it,
Yeah, me too. Loved him.
You listen to him now, and you laugh so much harder at like any of the like nothing goes right sort of jokes that he was doing.
Hey, I had a tough week last week. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought my kid a bow and arrow set. He bought me a shirt with a bullseye on it. Like that sort of stuff.
That's funny.
Like his jokes were just the more life experience you've had.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Best,
Dude, that's so funny you said that. That reminds me of a joke I wrote when I was young, and I stopped doing. I don't really do jokes like those made up. I mean, I guess I do, but not really, not like that. I try to do life experience, but anyways,
Right.
I did a joke.
And
like,
I'm sure the audience is just as appreciative. Of
yeah, and but I did some joke about how. Yeah, oh my god, what if I subconsciously stole that from Rodney? Because I said something like, for Christmas, my dad got a deer rifle, and I got a deer. How'd it go? And I got a deer costume.
That's funny.
It's funny, right?
It's kind of a riff on it, but
Right.
it's not the exact same
I remember
thing.
some jaded comedian was like, "Hey, I do a bit," and I didn't think it was similar at all. But I was like, "Okay, well,
Yeah, well, it would have been funny to just trump him, and so did Rodney Dangerfield. So
exactly, yeah." So we both stole it from Rodney. I remember this guy, and this is another thing that with life experience. I used to do this bit. I'm going to curse right now, you guys, so get ready for it. But I used to do a bit called "You're Fucked, You're Down on Your Luck." And I go, wouldn't that be a great game show? Every time something happens to you, I pop up telling you that you're fucked. And then I would just give different scenarios. Like you go skiing in Vail, Colorado. You walk into the bank and forget to take off your ski mask. You're fucked. You're down on your luck. Whatever. You have a. I mean, it was silly. You have a
that's
poker.
a funny bit.
It's funny, right?
But you know what's missing?
Yeah.
What prizes they win when they're fucked?
Dude, that's good. I never thought of that.
Like you win a night in jail, an interrogation from a federal officer. And all the different stuff that you win for that.
Oh yeah, well, like they were so silly. I'd be like, "You've got a pogo stick. You've got a ceiling fan. You're fucked."
Right? Yeah.
Whatever. You do this. You do that. Blah blah blah. And then and so what would happen is the crowd would like do it with me, right? Usually when I did bar shows or whatever,
Yeah.
or actually even comedy clubs back then. But I was usually the opener, and like the whole crowd would go. I'm almost directing them like I'm a conductor, and I'd say and the crowd would go, "Fuck, you're down on your luck." And I remember like two incidents happened with headliners. One, this guy wrote down on a piece of paper 17 fucks. Right when I go, please give it up to his name, whatever. I won't say his name, but give it up to that's blah 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 blah. And then he goes and he hands me a paper and he goes, you say fuck enough, kid? It's like, what? And it said like 17 fucks,
The way you said it sounds like, were you opening for John Lovitz?
No, it was not John Lovitz.
You say fuck enough, kid?
Yeah. Ooh, no.
I said it 37 times.
Yeah, here's 18.
Jealous?
Yeah, here's 18. Fuck you. No. And then but I see what the guy was trying to do, maybe possibly, but just the way he went about it was like, he just you say 17. He had like tally marks, like a little tally mark, like you're in jail counting down the days. And whatever. And then the other time I was
how long had you been doing comedy
at that point on that one? Probably less than a year. Less than 2 years, I'll say that. I know for a fact less than 2 years. That
was him trying to tell you about setting the table, but he did do it in a shitty sort of way.
Yeah, it was definitely a year and a half because it was still in Fresno. Like I hadn't even left Fresno yet.
Yeah.
It was at a comedy club that
the fact that he called you kid at the end of it just says everything.
I know. It was and then the second time was about 8 months later, and it was at an Irish bar.
I thought you were going to say 8 weeks ago.
No, 8 weeks ago. Yeah, it was like 8 months later, and it was in an Irish bar in San Francisco, and once that headliner was late, and so because it was raining, and they were like stretch. So I was like, well, I guess I'll do that bit, and then that was the
dust off the fuck bit.
Yeah, exactly. So I did that bit right before, like an idiot. I did it right before I brought him up, and guess what? The whole crowd was into it. They're drunk, they're Irish. They were like, "You're fucked. You're down on your luck." Here's how old the bit was. I go, you're Jim Baker. You're fucked. It was one of the Jim Baker scandals. I mean, it was, dude, this is like 1990. This is like so long ago. Yeah. Anyway.
Dukakis was running for president at that.
You're Dukakis. You put on an army helmet. You're fucked. You're Tammy Faye Baker. You run out of makeup. I mean, it was so, yeah. You're Pee Wee Herman. You go to a movie theater.
Yeah.
You're fucked. No. Anyways, yeah, no, I didn't say that, but yeah. So, but guess what? The second headliner, about 3 years after the incident, when he batted my hand away and goes, "This ain't fuck enough, kid." He saw me at the punchline in.
Oh wait, you didn't mention that he batted your hand away.
Well, okay. The first guy. Okay, I kind of conflated the two stories. The first guy, I brought up the feature act, and when I went to the back of the room, the first guy was the one that handed me the paper, and he goes, and all it said was 17 fucks.
Oh,
he goes, read this, and I was like, oh. And the second guy is the one that goes. I went to, you shake the hand of the headliner when you're on stage. Yeah. Please welcome, and then he batted my hand away and went, "You say fuck enough, kid." And I had this. I had this flash of like, what do I do? Like, am I supposed to like shove him off stage? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Am I supposed to just take it? I didn't know what to do, and I just took it. So I was like, yeah, that would have been weird to like get violent and shit.
Oh yeah, what are you gonna do at a comedy show when someone does it?
I know it was really weird, and so I was so
up an old man,
I know. And then
was that guy, is that the one that happened at the Irish pub?
Yes, the Irish pub is the one that went. Okay, he goes, "You say fuck enough, kid," and didn't shake my hand. Kind of batted my hand.
I wonder, just talking about this, how many times we've said it. Someone tally it up and tell us.
I know. You'll get a shout out on the next episode.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Shout out for the F word tally upper, and we will shout you out. I'll even plug. Yeah. I'll plug your social media. I'll plug your business. Whatever you want us to plug, I will read it on the next episode.
Right now, the head of Burger King is like, "We made it.
We made it." Remember, whenever you throw a K down and you're doing push-ups. So anyways, I cut to like 3 or 4 years after the incident. That quote, the headliner, he saw me at a comedy club, and dude, I want to tell you, he actually apologized.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
He did. He stopped me and he goes, "I was very rude to you, and I want to apologize." And I had that incident in my mind. I'm like,
the way you said it just now,
yeah,
morphed from John Lovitz into Emo Phillips. I want to apologize.
Yeah. No, his voice was kind of deep, actually. He was like, he was like, "I'd like to apologize. I was very rude to you." And I was thinking, do I act like I don't remember? Do I say something? So I was like, "Oh man, don't worry about it." And then he told me his side of the story, which I was really nice. He said that it was raining that night. He was getting a divorce. He did a show earlier, and he was late. And here he is driving to the rain. He was all stressed out because of his home life. And then he finally finds parking, gets in this Irish bar, and here you are with shocked red hair in an Irish bar, like killing as you were killing. The whole crowd was singing along with you. Like, "You're fucked." And I'm like, "Oh man." He goes, "I just want to can I just go home? Can I just make my $200 and go home? Now I got to work." And I get it now. I get it, man. Like,
I like that you having red hair was an attack on him somehow.
I guess it was like in the Irish bar, and I was a redhead, and it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I wasn't
I can see that.
Because I just how there was a difference between stand-up comics and improv and sketch actors. There was sort of a difference between the quote San Francisco comedians and then the guys that were like blue collar, like me. I was in San Jose, like all the East Bay, like you guys are road comics, like that kind of shit.
Right.
Like it was a fraternity,
Oh man, that brings it back to Shakes the Clown.
Oh really?
In the movie, road comics are rodeo clowns.
Oh god. Oh yeah.
And like at one point they're all like drinking and shooting the shit, and you hear one of the rodeo clowns who goes, "Y'all ain't bad for a bunch of pussy birthday party clowns."
That's funny. Yeah, this guy was telling me I had coffee today with a local comic. I'm up at the farm right now, up north of LA, up near Fresno, and I had coffee.
Bumpkin Central.
That's right. We're doing our country bumpkin activities for the holidays, for Christmas, for New Year's, and even Thanksgiving. We were here, but I'll get into some of those activities in a second. But there's a local comic here that like he got it down on lock, man. He's got all these spots that he performs at and puts on shows and all this kind of cool stuff. And he did he was telling me some of the local jokes that were like, I don't even know if this is like hack or what, but like, I don't think so, but what do I know? He said that one of the locals that opened.
I've only been doing it 30 years.
I know, but like he said they did New Year's, I guess, at some lake or something up in the mountains or whatever, like in like some small town up there. And he's like, it was kind of funny. He's like, my GPS blinked out, and I'm like, I hope it doesn't make me go up that windy road. And for whatever reason, the GPS it took me up it said that the faster way is up this windy road, and man, it was whoo. He goes, thank God it wasn't foggy, and thank God I was sober. I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
But here's the joke that he said that one of the locals said, and he kind of said that it was sort of hacky, but I don't know if it is or not. But he goes, the local guy goes, how many, by a round of applause, or not even probably raise your hand, how many women here have menopause? Mm-hmm. And like 3 women raised their hand. And he goes, now I'm going to ask the fellas, how many of your wives have menopause? And then like all the men's hands went up, like, yeah. But I thought it was, I didn't know that was hacky, but I was like, that's kind of funny.
I don't know. It's okay.
I know.
Like, I don't think just doing, because I do a lot of jokes where I do kind of like survey sort of stuff.
Yeah, you want to connect.
But it's, I don't know, that's a very bumper sticker-y
right.
sort of.
Yeah.
It just seems like, I think the thing to try and avoid is if it sounds like anybody could do it, it doesn't sound like it has a specific personality to it.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit hacky.
Yeah, he told me that he I like that I'm not using his name, so please, if you're listening, my friend, I'm not using your name, so but yeah, he was telling me a struggle that he had, and I've had it too back in, when I started, was when you go from like bar gigs and like local like Fresno type gigs or your hometown, like not real clubs, and then you go play a real comedy club. He goes, man, it was hard. He goes, I felt like I was a bar comic because I'm so used to like, I got to get everyone's attention. I got to get them laughing. I got to get them going. I got to get them. He goes, then when I went to like a sophisticated crowd that was there to laugh, that, you don't have to try so hard. And he goes, man, he goes, I need to change gears or something. And
it's almost like it works against you. They're kind of like, oh, wow, he's really trying too hard.
Right, and I didn't get it back in the day because I remember what that happened to me when I played the San Francisco. There's this room called the Holy City Zoo, and I remember one of the ladies that were booking that. She booked me on that show, and I used to kill. But then when I went there, I did not kill. I did not kill at all. And then she goes, she goes, yeah, you're kind of roady. You're very roady. You need to spend more time in the city. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? But my jokes were kind of roady. I look back, I'm like, yeah, I was doing stuff like,
I'll push you into traffic. We'll see who's roady.
Exactly. Dude, that's where I met Robin Williams, by the way. He was standing in the doorway, and I went, I think, Robin Williams? I go, what, Robin Williams? And I went out there, and all I could say to him was, it's cold. I go, wow, it's cold out here. And he goes, oh, it is. It's cold. The fog's coming in. Oh. And that was it. And I was like, oh, wow, I just talked to Robin Williams. But
that's amazing.
But yeah, one of my jokes that I remember, the one joke she pointed out was it was when you said bumper sticker, it reminded me of that. I go, I saw a bumper sticker. It said, how's my driving? Call 1-800-EAT-SHIT. I dialed the number. They answered, hello, Denny's. That was my joke.
It was fun being friends with you for a while there.
Yeah,
we had really good
dude, you should try to do that tonight at the Comedy Store.
I will absolutely never ever do that.
How's my driving? Call 1-800-EAT-SHIT. You could change it. You could call Jack in the Box. You don't have to say Denny's.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, I was 20. I was 20 years old. Please forgive me.
Yeah, no, I understand. Just delete my number. And, if you don't mind, if you could unfollow me on all social media.
Oh, dude, I didn't even want to tell you my other stuff. That was so stupid. I was doing parodies of the great.
Don't tell me your other stuff.
I won't tell you the punchlines, but just trust me. I was doing parodies of the Grey Poupon commercial.
Oh my God.
I mean, this is how.
Darren.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't anyone tell you to? You would think that guy who said, "You say fuck it up, kid," would have sat you down and here's some other crap you don't want to do.
I know. Why are you doing? Pardon me. Do you have any gray poop on? Like, and you don't even want to know what I was. This is so dumb. Yeah. I mean,
Did you do like talk to the hand and that sort of shit?
that was after me. That was after my time. That was like all that talk to the hand. I want to say that came out in like '94. I wasn't doing. I did not do talk to the hand. I did not do that.
People that do like Seinfeld jokes but don't even know they're doing Seinfeld.
Oh yeah.
What's the deal? Blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah. Thank God. I don't think I did that because I never really watched Seinfeld. I was just like, no. I think I luckily most of my hacky like bullshit was like from I want to say from like 1989 to about 92 or 90. Yeah, probably 92.
Just to be fair to yourself,
Yeah.
every comic goes through a hacky period.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You also go if really I think if you're any good, you kind of have to model yourself a little bit after someone that you admired, and sometimes multiple people. And that's while you're like trying to find your voice, you kind of are doing a sort of imitation of these other comics that you have in your head of what you want to be like. And then eventually, I think it takes about 7 years, but eventually you shed all of that and the actual comic that you're meant to be sort of emerges. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I think especially for me personally, living a sheltered life, like, and being young, like as a kid, like a young person, it was like I would kill when the crowd was young, but when they were like over 24, it was like, ugh, you know, like, because I was good at like the voices and the, you know, the imitations, I could do all that and get killed and do all, you know, the fun stuff. But when it came to like that, especially like that first 2 years of comedy, for me personally, it was, you know,
because I think there's a difference between like water cooler humor, where like you're the funniest guy in your office and people go like, oh, you should do stand-up. A lot of those guys don't really do well at stand-up because for the most part at a water cooler, you're just kind of repeating shit that you heard on TV or on the radio. Or what have
you're doing the SNL catchphrases or the movie.
Yeah, like I wait till you see his amazing Will Ferrell impression. It is amazing, but it's all Will Ferrell joke. It's all his material.
Yeah.
So it's really Will Ferrell that I'm laughing at through you. You know?
Yeah. Or there'd be like
until you have to like sit down and write your own jokes for the first time that you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
This is a whole other skill set.
Especially back then, like the early 90s, like there'd be like the local DJ guy that he would kill. He'd be like, you know, I remember that we did contests. The winner, this is a lot of money even for now. It was like $1,000. Imagine a comedy contest. The winner gets $1,000.
Yeah.
And you do 5 minutes. That's it. You know, and then you go to but I remember that the local MC was a DJ, very popular DJ in Fresno, and he would get the whole crowd hyped up and pumped up. He'd be like, this side say, tastes great. And this side say, less filling. So they're going, tastes great, less filling, tastes great, less filling. Are you ready for Mike Black? And the crowd's like, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, dude. They're like, hefty, 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 or whatever. He was doing all these like commercial chants and stuff. You know, like,
what's great is he's probably thinking, why hasn't anyone else done this?
I know. Well, how come I can't get discovered? I'm killing. Everyone's, you know. Yeah.
I think that's another thing to watch for. If a joke seems just too easy, like, you know, how has no one else thought of this joke about airplane food?
I know.
Well,
yeah.
There's a chance someone has.
I know. I was going to tell you about country bumpkin activities.
Oh yeah. What do you got?
All right. Here's what we got, dude. Christmas Day.
First of all, I was going to say, what was your Bumpkin Christmas like?
Bumpkin Christmas. Thanks for asking. It was great. It was great. I love Christmas. I'm a big Christmas guy. I've found out over the last few years. I'm like, I love Christmas, especially I guess after the pandemic. I feel like it's like, man, it's just nice to go. I feel like more decorations were put up around, you know, everywhere I went. I saw like, did you find that there was more decorations out this year?
A lot more. A lot more. Like people kind of overdid it, but in a fun way.
Right. I think so, right? Like I noticed it at Halloween, but I really noticed at Christmas. I'm like, wow, they're going all out. Like, I was going for walks around like Toluca Lake and in Hollywood and Burbank and everywhere. And just everywhere I went, I'm like, wow, people are going, they're getting like the blow up reindeers, the blow up Santas are going, there's this house in Toluca Lake. It's famous. I forget the name of it now, but, yeah, they went all out. Like the composer who wrote like "Walking in a Winter Wonderland," like he lived there back in the day. It's like a historical landmark, and that house is like beautiful. And man, so yeah, people went all out on Christmas, and so we went up to the farm, and I had a couple shows lined up. 2 days after Christmas, San Jose, California. So if you're at the San Jose Improv, thank you guys so much for coming to the show. That was incredible. And then 2 days after that, I was in Clovis, California. So thank you so much. But yeah, so came up to Fresno area up on the farm and had a nice, dude, imagine like just the best Christmas dinner. My wife's making a beautiful dinner, everything you'd want, biscuits, like just, it was just delicious. Mashed potatoes. We got a salad spinner. I don't know if you've ever used a salad spinner, but
I have not, but they sound wonderful.
do you kind of know what a salad spinner is?
I take it spins the salad.
Damn, dude, you're good. Yeah, what you do is you put the salad in this bowl type thing, and there's an inner bowl and an outer bowl, and then there's different types. There's kinds that are like an old top where you pump it up and down from on top, and the more you push it, the faster it starts centrifugal force, takes all the water and moisture out of the thing. And then we have another one that we got up here at the farm where it's almost like you're starting a lawnmower, like you're pulling this handle and a string, and you go zing, zing, zing. And it spins around, and it gets all the moisture out, and it makes your lettuce so crispy and delicious, and like just, mwah. And you can also get this. My wife's been putting potatoes in there. Like you peel a bunch of potatoes, you put it in there, and you do that, and you could make delicious hash browns, man. These hash browns are like out of this world, like the kind you get at a restaurant. Like they're top level, top notch hash browns. They're like next level. They're very good.
So your family has 2 salad spinners.
Oh yeah, one in Central California, one in Southern. Some people have a vacation home. We have a vacation salad spinner.
Must be nice.
Must be nice. I'm gonna have my wife a note. Here's 17 salad spinners. Yeah, it's funny. So we get up here. We're having like all this delicious food, and I'm just, it's so good. And I'm like, now I'm gonna go for a walk, and I get out there. I'm about a mile away. I'm just walking, and they're supposed to join me, and then I get this call. She's like, yeah, all the toilets are backed up and not flushing.
Right.
Like what? Like I shouldn't say it. I don't know if that's exactly how it went, because they all were flushed, but there was no more water. They were unusable, and we had to like turn the water off so nothing would flood over or whatever. So basically, imagine, I will not get gross during the story, but just imagine, Mike, if you're on a farm and you're like miles and miles and miles away from civilization, and it's Christmas, so nothing's open. And you just had a nice, delicious dinner, and it's around 1:00, 2:00 in the afternoon. And luckily, I'd already used the bathroom, but just knowing like you're not going to be able to go tonight, and it's going to be like 35 degrees, and what are you going to do? So the first thing we all decided as a family is like, okay, we're not going to eat for the rest of the day. Like we're good. And it did turn into Little House on the Prairie, because I'm like, wow, like we called it, we got to, who are you going to call, right? So we got a hold of a plumber, and he came the next day, and it all worked out. But dude, it was a slightly stressful night, as you can imagine, just the fear of like, what happens if I have to use the bathroom? What will I do?
Yeah.
And I know it sounds stupid because, truth be told, you could just pretend you're camping and go out there, and you're on a farm, so you could go behind the barn out in the middle of nowhere and do your business. But I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, dude.
I'm in constant dread of if I have to go to the bathroom.
Right.
Where can I do it?
Right.
I would say I spend about half the day going, I wonder if it'd be okay if I laid down here. And then the other half the day going, I wonder where the restroom is and how much cleanup I'll have to do before I use it. You know?
Right. Yeah. It was incredible because I remember like I went into town and I was like, man, every time I used a public restroom after that, I was like really taking note of like how awesome it was. Like, I'm like, wow. Like I went into Kohl's and I was like, man, if that situation came up again, this is like incredible. They have automatic paper towels that you just wave your hand and go, and the paper towel like unravels for you. It's like, I'm like, this is like heaven. Like, you know, I went to another, by the way, at one point I walked into have you ever heard of Boot Barn?
I have heard of Boot Barn.
So I walked in the Boot Barn and sort of have like Western wear. And right away I knew I wasn't going to use the bathroom there because it was a smaller store and it was like 3 women that were right behind the counter that greet you right when you walk in.
Yeah.
So everybody would know if you're like using the restroom. They're like, all 3 of them are like in unison. They're like, hi, welcome to Boot Barn. Are you looking for something special? Oh yeah, the bathroom. You know what I mean? You can't quite say that. I was like, oh yeah, I just kind of, yeah, I'm looking for some flannel. And they're like, yeah, it's right over there. Thank you. And I kind of pretended to look for about 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay, I can't use the bathroom. This is weird. And then yeah. So then anyways, I found a couple of places that would, yeah. And then, so I got back and then the plumber, he made his way out here and then there was like something else that came up and then everything got fixed. But at one point, it almost came to the point where they almost wanted me to go up on the roof. And I'm like, I got to go up on the roof. And luckily I did not have to go on the roof, but it was like, yeah, it made me really appreciate, like you said, nice plumbing and electricity and, you know, all that good stuff.
Yeah. All the 20th century.
Exactly.
Sort of
I mean,
goodies that we have now.
I could say I love all this country bumpkin living, but like, dude, if it comes down to the simple things like that, you're like,
yeah. I don't want to churn my own butter. I just
exactly.
I'll have it delivered.
I know. So that was a little bit of a Christmas drama. It was hilarious. It felt so good to have everything like it's working again. Yay! And then,
yeah.
And then my next thing was how was your Christmas?
Well, it was really good. I stayed here in town and I went to a friend's Christmas party.
Nice.
And I got to see Die Hard was showing at a theater out here. And that's probably my favorite Christmas movie. And so I got to go watch that with a good crowd that was like really excited about it, you know.
Oh, that's so cool.
But yeah, it was good.
That was cool. Yeah, that was a good Christmas. And, you know, of course, hanging out with my wife in Austin, and Austin's playing his music, and he shot a video. He'll be putting out, he's been jamming on his, you know, he's the bass boss, my son, but he also plays like guitar and banjo. And so he's been doing the thing with the banjo where he's doing like heavy metal banjo. And it's pretty cool. We filmed some stuff, like 4 or 5 different locations. And so he's putting that together. So that was a lot of fun. And
nice.
2 days after Christmas, I went up and I did a gig in San Jose. Now, usually I fly from, you know, Burbank to San Jose, but I'm like, well, I'm already kind of here, so I might as well drive. And that was a nice drive, man. It's a nice 2.5, 3 hour drive. And
you stop at Pea Soup Anderson's?
I drove by it. I did drive by it. And then there's a place called it's in the Pacheco Pass off the 152. And it's called Casa de Fruta, I think it's called. Casa de Fruta. And
sure.
Dude, it looks like it's beautiful there, and it's like a time warp in a sense. Like they got a merry-go-round and a diner and a shop where you can get all kinds of nuts and fruits, and there's like peacocks walking around, and it's really cool. It's something to see. And yeah,
it sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was definitely a bumpkin activity, and I listened to like some old school country music on the way there, and they were telling stories, and you know. And then I got to San Jose, and my buddy was there. I've known my friend. He he's known me since I was 18 years old. We used to work we worked in radio together. We worked, we went to Fresno City College, for a couple semesters. I've known him for a long time, so it's really cool. Anytime I perform up there, he comes out to the shows with, different, through the years, different wives that he's had, different girlfriends. So it's kind of the one thing that's consistent is him. So that was cool. This time he brought his lady up there with him, and it was cool. It was a great show. We had a great turnout, and I was nervous because you never know. It's 2 days after Christmas. It's Wednesday. It was like a light rain. Like, are people going to show up? And we got about 175 people to come out, and it was
that's awesome.
It was awesome, man. It was like, yes, this is beautiful. Thank you.
That's nice. San Jose can be kind of hit or miss on that, so that's awesome.
Dude, it was. Trust me. And I had that nightmare of like, what if I get there and there's like 14 people, and they'll never have me back. So yeah, it was. It was great, man. It was really nice to reconnect with. Actually, I'm not even kidding. Old like fans that have. Like this one guy told me he bought one of my CDs like 14 years ago, and. That was cool. We don't even sell CDs anymore, so that was neat to,
He's like, I don't have anything to play it on, but I have it.
But I got it. Yeah. Oh, and then I did a show in Clovis, and I met a guy after the show. This guy was, man, I wish I remembered his name. He was it was incredible, man. He survived falling off a 4-story building and landed on concrete. And was supposed to never walk again, but he they put him back together, and he broke like all these bones in his body. But yeah, when I saw him, he was like he's 6'4", he's jacked, he lifts weights, and it's a miracle. And he had a great attitude, man. He's like, man, he goes, it happened 10 years ago, and he went into detail, which was a little. Like, I don't need to hear all the details. And then at one point, he took my hand, and he goes, hey, feel right here. And he had me, like, feel, like, his lower, like, love handle. And I was like, oh, what am I feeling? What am I feeling? Because I was like, I don't want to be grossed out. And it was like, he goes, oh, it's a battery pack. Like, he had some kind of battery pack that was, And at one point, he lifted up his shirt, and he, like, showed me some scar. And I was like, okay, I get it. But it was interesting to see his positive attitude and, like the way he told me that story, I was like, oh my gosh, like that, it was incredible. Yeah. It was pitch black when he was up there, and it was inside of a building, and they were up in the rafters, and he was walking across a beam, and he misstepped and boom, dropped. He goes, I went straight down like a pencil, and I was like, whoa.
God, that sounds awful.
It does. And hey, he's okay, though. He's okay. And he was thankful. He goes, I'm glad I didn't get a head injury. I didn't bite my tongue. I'm really, it's like, jeez, man.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah, it could always be worse, I guess.
I know. It makes anything that you have going through, you're like, oh, okay, it wasn't that bad. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So there was that. And then New Year's, I stayed in with the family. I always, I don't know, I guess I just put my, priorities a little bit different, I guess, after like COVID and everything. And also my son's 16 years old now, and you just realize how quickly time flies. And
yeah,
it's weird. My son Austin, aka Austin the Bass Boss, he turned 16 in September, and on New Year's Eve afternoon, as we're putting him to bed, which we still do, I love saying goodnight to him and stuff. He goes, I just realized I'm going to be 18 next year, and we're like, whoa. Because technically he'll be 17 this year and then 18 next year. It's like, whoa. Anyway, so yeah, we stayed in and we watched different New Year's celebrations on various networks. We taped like 4 of them, and we're like forwarding, looking at different musical performances and that kind of thing. And there was a part of me that was itching, like oh, I wish I was doing a show, because I got offers, but I didn't want to. But most of me was very happy I was here with my family, and man, it felt good, and it really did, especially after midnight. You're like, you know what? I made the right decision.
Yeah.
Do
you think now that since he's about to turn 18, it's like, now you go get a job?
I know. Well, I wouldn't say about to. Yeah, he will be. He'll be 18. Yeah, next year technically, right? He will be.
Yeah, you have a year to find a job, Austin.
You got 1 year. I know, Austin. I know you just. I know, but I know. I know you're in 10th grade and you're. You know, he just learned to drive and all that. But gosh, it's like wow.
It'd sure be great if you would help out around here on the
Can
ranch.
you help me out? Yeah, help out on the ranch, boy. I know. I bequeath you. I will give you 10,000 of my followers, young man. I will grant you 2 retweets, and I will share one of your stories to my
On your 18th birthday.
On your 18th birthday. This is what I have to give to you of my social media. This is what they. How about you? Did you do a show New Year's Eve?
I did not. I went to a party where I knew 2 other people there, and they were like, "Oh, it's going to be this fun, amazing party," and I got there, and there was no food.
Oh,
it was like you had to buy any drinks that were there, and it was as cold as it is tonight, but they left all the doors open so that people could
gosh,
mingle more. I've never been happier to see a Lyft driver than I was after midnight on the way.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds.
Week.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not.
It's sometimes it's like these things sound good, like, oh, I wish I was, and then you get there and you're like, this is what wow.
You're like,
okay.
This is not great. It was good seeing the friends of mine that I knew and everything, but I was like, oh, I could have taken them to lunch instead or something, you know.
Are you a New Year's resolution guy? Did you like, okay, starting tomorrow, I'm going to do this, you know, or?
Not really. Just generally, I'd like to do more shows. I know that sounds very boring, but like,
it's true though. Yeah.
Want to get out more, but I did on like right before Christmas. I went with those same friends to the La Jolla Comedy Store.
Oh, nice.
And we did Friday and Saturday there, and it was really terrific. It was really, really good.
Oh, dude, I saw that. I saw some of the photos and videos. That looked like that's an incredible room, and I can imagine that you 3 guys just killing it, man. That's a great room.
A real blast. So I was like, when it came time for New Year, I was like, I'm good. I don't really care if it was
right
that bad.
Did you get any good Mexican food in San Diego while you were there?
No. Most of the places that I knew about had closed down, like during COVID and everything. But I did get to go to. There was a Vaughn's right across the parking lot.
Yep.
And they actually have an amazing deli counter there. And I went there one of the nights and got some of the best rotisserie sort of chicken I've ever had. It was called habanero mango.
Wow.
Rotisserie chicken. And I think no one was buying them because that name kind of scared people off. And I was like, is it crazy spicy? I was like, I have to do a show. I can't if it's crazy spicy. And they were like, no, it's really not. It's more tangy and a little bit of spice to it. And I tried it and I was like, I might eat this entire chicken. It was so good.
Whenever I'm in San Diego or La Jolla or whatever, I always love I'm always looking for Mexican food. I love the food down there, like Alberto's or Roberto's or Alberto's. It's always and it's just different, man, than what I get in LA. It's just better. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I just none of the places that I knew about were, and we were only there 48 hours, so it wasn't
oh, that's true. Yeah,
trip.
I wonder if that one place is there. I don't know the name of it. Remember, he used to always kind of people on different podcasts would give him a shout out. It's right by the La Jolla Comedy Store. I think I
want to say Alberto's, right?
Is it? And the guy's name was Ryan.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go over in that direction.
Oh, okay.
But I hope it's still around.
Yeah, okay. When you said some of them closed, I was like, I hope that wasn't one of them because I remember I used to like going there too.
Yeah, I don't know if they are or not.
Dude, I got a pizza the other night, And I got to be honest, you know how they say there's no. It was the first time I literally felt like I've had a pizza that wasn't good. Like the crust was just very doughy. It wasn't crusty at all. It was just soft. I'm like, I didn't like it. You know it's bad when it lasted 3 days in the fridge.
Yeah.
Usually, a lot of times pizza with me won't even last the car ride home. Like,
yeah. Did it, like, when you reheated it? Did that help at all?
The center of the pizza was really good. Like I will say, I wouldn't say it was really good, but it was good. It was passable. Like, it was like, okay, I'm eating pizza. I'm having 5 or 6 bites of pizza. But once you make your way towards the end of the pizza where the crust area was, it was like, it's just like doughy. Like, this sucks.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it was like, that. So then you make up for it, and you're like, well, let's go to our favorite pizza place, and then you're like, well, what about that? So I've had like way too much pizza this holiday. I got to like take a break and not do the pizza thing for a while.
Go easy on it. Yeah.
I know. Well, Mike, it's great having you back on the podcast. My New Year's resolution is to do more podcasts. I needed to take dare I say, a well-deserved break because, I was busting them out like once a week, twice a week, and just go. And then I don't know, not that I got burnt out, but I love hearing from you guys that were saying, hey, when's another one coming out? Come on, man, it's a good podcast. Put it back out. And I guess I was getting my jollies or whatever from posting videos on Instagram, and that took off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, millions of people are seeing it. It was just like, but I realized like the podcast is fun to do. It's actually fairly easy to do. And, and you're great on it. And even when I had like a couple times I had like a mental block where I'm like, I don't know what I would talk about. I got nothing. And I realized like, no, man, you got Mike Black in your corner. An hour is going to fly by. So thank you, my friend.
Yeah, it did today. So, yeah.
It did, man, and thank you so much. And if you want, and dude, thank you for the nudge because you nudged me today. You were like, hey, whatever you said, like, let's do it. I'd love to do a podcast. Let's go, buddy.
I'm glad we did.
Absolutely, man. So thank you. That's why, like I said, my New Year's resolution. Let's get it going. It's up to me. I gotta I'm gonna do more podcasts for you guys because it's I think there's a demand for it, even though it's a small demand. I appreciate you guys and.
Yeah,
we're in this together as listeners.
People that like it really like it.
They do, and I like you guys, and I like you, Mike. Thank you, and hey, man, have a great rest of your night, and we'll talk soon. Thank you, Mike.
All right, you too, brother. Have a great night. Say hi to everyone for me.
I will, brother. Thank you.
All right,
bye. Look at you. You made it all the way through. Do us a favor, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. That way you'll know when the newest one comes out. You won't have to remember, let me see if one came. You'll just know because it'll push it out to you. And if you get a chance, follow me on Instagram, official Darren Carter. Also look up Mike Black. He's on there. Mike Black is back on Instagram. And I'm on YouTube. I'm on TikTok. I'm on all the things you guys are on. I'm probably on too. So please. Check it out. Other than that, thank you so much. If you want to donate a little something, go to my link tree. You'll find it. If you go to my Instagram, go to my bio, and you'll see right there, link tree. There's many ways to help out the podcast. And other than that, thank you guys for subscribing. Thanks for listening, and thanks for all your positive messages. Have a great 2024, and we love you, man. And as my old boxing coach used to say, don't hurt nobody. Don't hurt nobody. And then when I'd walk out, he'd be like, hey, Darren, be careful. I was like, what? So you guys be careful. Don't hurt nobody, including yourself. And let's do it, man. Push-ups, 2024.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to The Pocket Party.